Hi, Tana Marshall here with your Feel Good Friday message. Today, I want to talk to you about prioritizing in your life. And I'm going to share the example of how I was torn a few years ago between taking care of my mom or growing my business. And when I first got laid off from Capitol Records in 2008, I was all ready to start my new career. I was just about to graduate with my holistic health practitioner certification after my 2-year course that I'd been taking, and I had a place that I was going to be working and I was ready. So when I got laid off, I thought, okay, this is great. It's fine. And I jumped in with trying to learn as much as I could. I was taking webinars and seminars about growing my business. And when that situation didn't work out and I was going to be focusing more on just one-on-one work, I was taking coaching programs and courses from other coaches, and I learned a lot, but I also had a lot of people kind of getting in my face about taking care of my mom, because the more time that went on, the more my mom needed care. And she was pretty self sufficient for a long time, but there were more and more things I had to take over, and I could kind of see the writing on the wall that I was going to have to be doing more and more as time went on. And I think either I wasn't aware, I was in a little bit of denial about how much of my life I was going to have to give up to care for her. And I remember this one coach in this one program that I was taking, part of this boot camp that I took through this woman's business, was a half-hour session one-on-one with her. And I remember during the session, she was telling me, well, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I explained my situation, and she said, you cannot let your mom get in the way of growing your business. And I was like, okay. And I struggled with that for several years. I was trying so hard to get my business going, but my mom kept needing more care. So every time something happened, either she was sick or she'd had a fall or I needed to change up our routine and she needed more of my time and attention, I became more frustrated. It was just increasingly frustrating over time. And I was resentful of her. I was frustrated I couldn't get my business built. And what's interesting is this kind of all came to a head around the time that I was publishing my second book, The Enlightened Caregiver, which ironically was about my routines that I had in place with my mom that have kept her really healthy and happy and balanced, and also the caregiving routines that I had in place for myself, which I try to honor as much as I can all the time. But I realized that I had been kind of doing this juggling act for so long. It's like mom, business, mom, business. And and you know what? Mom finally won. Which is the right choice. I knew that I couldn't keep putting 50% in each time, or 75-25, or whatever the percentage was. I really needed to devote myself to my mom because she was declining. It was a very slow decline because I have her on a lot of great routines, and she was maintaining. Her mental decline was slow. Physically, she was still okay. It was a slow decline. But I just realized that's where my attention needs to go right now. And that's one of the reasons that these messages are so important to me, because it's one of the few things that I can still do while I'm taking care of her. So I can do these while she's sleeping in the morning. It's quiet. I can focus on you and get this done. But, it's harder working on a whole business or trying to maintain a full clientele when I might have to tell somebody, oh, mom had a pooping accident. I have to postpone your call. People don't understand that. Or if it's a bigger thing, like, mom fell and need to take her to the hospital, that kind of thing. So it was just easier to maintain the few clients that I had been working with. I have some that work with me long term. After the major work, we just kind of do maintenance. But I have some other clients that I'm working with that it's a weekly thing, and we're still working on goals and dreams and desires and blocks that come up. And I'm so grateful for those clients because I still get to do the work that I love. And they understand my situation if I have to postpone something. But that's what works, and it allows me to make mom the priority. So mom wins. So if you are struggling, and especially if you're a caregiver, I know there's some caregivers out there who are working a full-time job while they're taking care of somebody. But if you're in a situation like mine where you cannot leave the person for longer than an hour, two at the most, maybe you can't leave at all. Maybe they are an invalid and they're in bed and they need 24-hour care and assistance and supervision. it's hard to get away and to do anything else. Some people work from home and they're able to do that. I just choose to take care of my mom because we're financially okay. We have a fixed income that we're living on, and I budget the money as well as I can, and I make it last so we can cover everything. And, I can't go somewhere and work someplace. And, I've just realized I'm tired the rest of the time. And I don't even want to have to deal with some online job where I'm exhausted mentally. And again, I wouldn't be able to give my all. So I'm choosing to focus on mom, probably about 95%. You guys get about 5% of me for a few minutes every Friday, when I post stuff on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, maybe throughout the week. But this is my big thing. This is my way of keeping in touch. And this is my way of doing what I can do while making mom my priority. So if you are struggling with this as well, think about how you can take care of yourself and what you need to prioritize. And even if you're not in a caregiving role, it always serves us to look at our lives and examine our priorities. Where is most of your time and attention going? And is that the best place for your time and attention for your own well being or for your family's well being? And you might want to make some adjustments. I think a lot of people spend way too much time at work, and even when they have time off or they're on vacation, they're still connected. They're expected to check in and respond to emails. And, that's a priority that's way out of whack in America. People need to disconnect and make their self care a priority. So that's pretty much the main thing. Your self care needs to be number one, and making my mom my number one priority was also a way of making my self care a priority, because then I wasn't spreading myself so thin between trying to take care of a business or a job and trying to take care of her. It allowed me the time and the space to take care of myself and do what I need to do to make sure that I stay well and happy and healthy. And so I'm sure you can find some areas in your life where you might need to make some tweaks. Maybe you need to work on your relationships a little bit more and give them a little bit more time and attention. Maybe you do need to put more time and attention into work or your business, but in a way that's balanced so that you can still take care of yourself. So just maybe even make a list of everything going on in your life, your work, your family, your social life, your spiritual life, your self care, physical well being, your mental well being, your spiritual well being, and notice where you might be out of balance and do what feels best to you. Make the priority the thing that's most important to you and your well being and your life in general. And I think this will help you feel better, because when you consciously make those priorities and stick with them and apply that to your life, you'll feel more balanced. You'll feel better. It's a great form of self care. So I hope that my example helped you a little bit. I know it doesn't apply to everybody, but again, I want to talk to the caregivers if this does apply to you, because we really have to weigh our priorities and make sure that we're doing the best we can to take care of them, to take care of us, take care of business, whatever else needs to be taken care of. There's a lot to juggle there. Do, 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 do. So make sure that however you're juggling it, there's some kind of balance there, and that the appropriate things and people are getting the most attention. So right now you are getting all my attention. Right now you are my priority. And I want to thank you for joining me once again. I really appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. If you would like these videos delivered straight to your inbox every Friday, jump over to my website, tanamarshall.com. Join the mailing list. You get a message from me every Friday with this video, and you'll get it before anybody else. So with that, I just want to wish you a great weekend and go into the weekend, prioritizing your weekend, and see how you can apply this to that. Whatever plans that you have, whatever time you have for yourself, maybe too much time is going out for other people or for chores, and make sure that you make yourself a priority, especially when you have some time off, because it's really important and you deserve it. You are your number one priority. And then figure everything else out from there. And hope this helped. I'll see you next time. Take care.